In the previous chapter, we covered how society's worship of money and the wealthy has manifested extreme and growing inequality, money corrupting politics, and corrupt institutions and corporations that hoard obscene levels of wealth. Today's chapter will examine the illusion of our self-worth as derived from wealth, and how false refuge in money keeps society unhappy. All right, let's get started.
All right, start the show.
Perhaps I can get what I want then. Power. Yes. I want that as much as you want your comfort or your job or that girl. We all have different tastes, as you can see. Only I'm willing to back my tastes with the necessary force.
Because we worship money, we prop up billionaires as the ultimate symbol of successful accomplishment in society. Humans admire these individuals as our highest versions of ourselves. By this attitude alone, we grant them far-reaching and undeserved powers. But in truth, as seen from a developmental level, they are just as flawed and damaged, undeveloped, traumatized, confused, unevolved, and spiritually lacking as the typical person born on Earth who is haunted and consumed by the errors of worldliness. The difference is that billionaires have more power and wealth to hide their flaws from themselves. They then use this wealth and status to portray an illusion of a developed individual. And so we believe in the illusion that wealth and status is the attainment that develops you. We believe in the illusion that they are better than us. We believe in the illusion that they are happier than us.
Wait a minute. You seem to be saying rich people aren't happy. I mean, come on. They can buy whatever they want. They've got to be super happy. They got no problems.
Are rich people happy? I know it's true that we believe that they are happy, and certainly most people would prefer wealth over crushing poverty. However, whether or not wealth brings actual happiness is heavily debated. There is a culture among the wealthy to live like their other rich friends. It's a pressure on them to be as rich as the richer ones who are above them. Thus, the very wealthy feel depressed that they are not the extremely wealthy, and the extremely wealthy are forlorn that they are not the supremely wealthy. Some people habitually measure their self-worth by whomever seems to be more successful than they are, a recipe for constant depression-inducing envy. Extra money may simply fuel desires, such as pursuing more material gains and social comparisons, which could, ironically, lower well-being, researchers from Purdue University believe.
I'm not a billionaire anymore, Richard. I'm a 986-yonaire, which isn't even a fucking thing. I'm out of the 3 Comma Club. Functionally, I'm just like you. Jesus, fuck, that's depressing.
Right, but you're still basically a billionaire.
Not if you round down. If you round down, I have 0 billion.
And so, wealth may only bring a temporary happiness, but with it, pressure to be richer and more powerful in order to attempt to satiate the lack within themselves.
So then are you saying money is bad?
No. Money itself is not good or bad. Money is neutral. But the predominant attitude that saturates society is that money is everything. We believe that as long as you focus on making as much money as you can, you'll be seen as accepted and having value by people in society. So we base our personal self-worth on the acquisition of more money. But the truth that we do not recognize is that all the money in the world will not give us purpose, meaning, or direction in life. The crisis of separation continues within each person no matter how wealthy they are, no matter what they own or control. They may have all the trappings of beauty, wealth, and power, but they are unknown to themselves, and they are still lost. Marshall V. N. Summers, The New World.
The first refuge we had was our mother. Whenever something went wrong, we went running to our mother. And she was quite a wonderful refuge as a child. But as we grew older, then we found that maybe our mother couldn't solve all our problems, so we discovered or had to find other refuges, particularly our wealth. We all believe, most of us, most of the time, that money will be able to protect us from suffering and bring happiness. So we find a refuge in money. especially in our society now, this is the main refuge. It used to be religion, some kind of religion. Now it's money or power.
So tell me, Gordon, when does it all end, huh? How many yachts can you water ski behind? How much is enough?
It's not a question of enough, pal. It's a zero-sum game. Somebody wins, somebody loses.
I mean, I was the bad guy. Because I was the villain. It's always shocked me how many people on Wall Street have said, "Oh man, you're the reason I became a stockbroker." And I said, I went to jail, man. I went to jail. Oh no.
It's bullshit. You got 90% of the American public out there with little or no net worth. I create nothing. I own.
Like we rooted for you, and I don't know why we rooted for you.
Because I had nice clothes. Exactly.
You had it all.
So I had it all, and I had money, and I lied, and I cheated, and that was it. So it's always made me a little disturbed that people just love that character as much as they did.
We make the rules, pal. The news, war, peace, famine, upheaval, the price of a paperclip. We pick that rabbit out of the hat while everybody sits out there wondering how the hell we did it. Now, you're not naive enough to think we're living in a democracy, are you, buddy?
Even worse, many of the mega-wealthy suffer from a malady of wanting more and more power.
What does he want?
What do all men with power want? More power.
Power. Yes.
Sometimes the supremely rich did become depraved. That came from believing that money could buy anything and everything. Frank Herbert, Heretics of Dune.
Do you know what someone who doesn't have any money has in common with someone with too much money to know what to do with? Living is no fun for either of them.
Oh, neat. Do you think that, like, super rich people are doing the Squid Games, man? Do you think that's, like, really happening, or, like, other conspiracy theories like that or something?
Do the extremely wealthy engage in depravity? Perhaps something similar in nature to this could conceivably be happening.
If you have too much money, then it doesn't matter what you buy or eat or drink or whatever. Everything. Well, it all gets boring.
The desires that a story like this is based on do exist.
We decided to get together. We did a little bit of thinking. What could we all do to finally have some fun?
Some fun?
But we can't and don't know what happens in secret. For everything revealed, how many more revelations are yet to be uncovered? We can't really know, and we shouldn't pretend to think to know. Regardless, we do know the end result. The end result we do know is that millions of individuals at the bottom of this chart live in debt with less than zero. There's actually more debt than there is money in existence. The end result being that we have created a class of perpetual debt slaves that serve their life energy to enrich the oligarchy.
The real looting in this country takes place in the transfer of the wealth from the poor to the rich. I'm sorry that you don't like class and the truth, my friend, but you're just stuck with it. Class and truth, and the poor have been systematically looted in this country. The rich have been made richer.
It is said that the worker is the backbone of the economy. How much of the working class that makes up the oligarchy's power is at the bottom of this graph? And so, the oligarchy could not survive in its current state without them. If we think of money as the energy source of all people on the planet, we can draw an allegory to the flow of money as the flow of blood in the human body. In a healthy circulatory system, the blood flow brings energy and nutrients as it is needed to every part of the body. Some parts require more blood at times, but never are other parts deprived of enough blood to function. But if our blood flow were to mirror the economies we have created, it would be like if 50% of our blood in our body was moved to the right hand alone, and we only allocate the bare minimum to the rest of the body that can keep it alive. It would not take a doctor to say that this is a very unhealthy body on the brink of collapse. Knowing this, why would any sensible planetary species organize its resources to where many toil and suffer to the prosperity of only a very few? They would only do this if they were under an illusion that this were not the case.
The illusion has become real, and the more real it becomes, the more desperate they want it. Capitalism at its finest.
How much is enough, Gordon?